In 2018, the Government of Canada renamed the previously named National Aboriginal Day to National Indigenous Peoples Day. So Huntsville will be celebrating the first National Indigenous Peoples Day, but one in a long line of many times we've celebrated this event in Huntsville in different ways. And we're doing it quite a little bit different this year. As you know, we've had outdoor tri-community powwows, and we've had students in River Mill Park with Métis rendezvous and little spirit singers from Wazoxing in the past, different kinds of teachings. This year we're having an evening event in the Algonquin Theatre. Starts at 6:30 with a meet and greet. We'll have some little nibblies. And the person that we're going to meet is Brian Charles. He's an off-reserve band member of Chippewas of Georgina Island, and he's a wampum belt carrier. So I don't know if you know this, but we are all treaty people, everybody here.
Okay.
Treaties are not just for Indigenous peoples. They have rights for all people in them. So we're going to learn about how treaties developed and how they were first described in the times of the day. I believe the first one is from 1613, the two-row wampum. And Mr. Charles, I've seen this presentation before. He goes through a visual presentation of the treaties as they evolved and became more complex. It's really, really compelling information in this presentation. I can't wait for people to see it.
So it's you know, you're bringing education into this component as well. I mean, it is something that I mean, Parry Sound Muskoka is surrounded by Indigenous peoples, and this is one way to do that, to kind of bring everybody together in this educational way.
Very, very true. And I mean, it fits the national calls to action by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We have been doing work in this area for a long time in Huntsville, since 1999, 2000 at least, that we started having events. And it's always been about raising awareness, leading toward, you know, mutual respect and understanding. And this event is really geared to capture people who maybe wouldn't be able to get to something that happens in the daytime when they're at work, or people who want more information. And really what I'm saying to people is just, please just come. Come with an open mind, an open heart. Don't have preconceived ideas. It is not a politicized presentation. It's very visual. It's factual, and you can take what you want from it and let those facts stand where they will with you and in your heart.
Talk about, you know, I mean, I know this year is a little bit different, but just as you said, Huntsville has been doing these events for a number of years. Talk about somewhat the feedback and just what you've been hearing from residents who have participated, and from Aboriginal groups who have participated as well, the benefit of having this event.
Well, I think it's huge. I mean, last year the Province of Ontario Heritage Trust program did a plaquing program down at the Narrows on Lake Bays through the Lake Bays Heritage Group, and they put the two plaques, one in English and one in the original language, Anishinaabe, through language keepers from Chippewas of Rama. Working together with these groups, I believe, I mean, you have to speak to them to see what they think, but they continue to be willing to work with us. They continue to have become friends. It's particularly, to me, moving to see children relating one-on-one to other children and realizing that we're all in this place together. We need to find ways to coexist harmoniously, and a lot of that, to me, is going back and picking up the threads of things that we have lost over time, including treaties. I mean, very interesting story. When we were doing an exhibit at Muskoka Heritage Place about World War I, I don't know if you know this, but Indigenous people signed up volunteered to fight in World War I at much higher rates than any other category in the population, including that there were some areas of the population where they were talking about conscription. So it was kind of critical that they were doing this, and I was really surprised, and I went to an elder and asked him why. When they weren't even recognized as people under the Indian Act till 1960, they weren't even considered humans. Why would they do this for this country? And he looked at me like I had two heads and said, we hold up our side of the treaties.
Right.
Really, really significant statement, and it really changed what I wanted to do with this portfolio.